a horrible night's rain, and Christ, it's wet now, but we were worried that they were gonna paddle their this Westerworld grass out and damage it that bad that it won't grow. But Christ, it's surprising how much pickings they're getting off it, and it's still full in drill seams. But if it gets any wetter, we're gonna have to take them off, because they will paddle it up. But they are taking a fall. I mean, one of them's a little straggler. I don't know whether we wormed them. To be fair, we wormed them 10 days ago, and Christ, they've improved since we wormed them. So whether they were riddled with worms or, well, they must have been, weren't they? Last Saturday night, well, a week ago today, we forgot to put the fence back on, because it's on mains, 240 volt to the energizer here, and oh, it's got a kick. Whew. Anyway, we turned it off, and they soon know. Anyway, Saturday night about 7 o'clock, me and Ollie watching telly, and a bullock in my drive. One in field. Anyway, 2 had gone out. Next minute they were all out. Anyway, me and Ollie managed to get them back in very, very easy. They were sort of like homing pigeons. They just came back, climbed over wire, and we bodged it up where they damaged it, and got them back in. But there's a couple of them quite flighty. You know, they're really headstrong, and they're off, you know, a bit like a limmy. You're getting piss wet through. But this bloody animal, whew, Christ. I know people say, oh, I can touch it, come and touch this, because Christ, it's got a kick. I've had a couple of belts off it nearly knocked me over. It was like, boom, you know, one of them. So, yeah, that's totally different to a battery one. Right. Disaster struck. I think our white chicken, we only had one left. Well, we've got 2 left now, but one of the white chickens died, and there's a lot of feathers in the yard today, and we don't fasten them up. They seem to make their own way back into a fox-free environment in the rut. Anyway, last night I think she's been out and been had by Charlie Fox, so unless it's hiding somewhere. Yeah, we've got this mower to put back together before we knock off. We haven't been late at all, it's horrible. But yeah, our mower, it's broke the shaft at the end, so we've repaired that and putting the bed back together. But I'll just watch him, we'll just show you him feeding cow. This feeder wagon we bought, Christ, it's mega. We've gone through it, we've serviced it all up. Only thing we can't get going is the weight, and I think the weight's doomed, because when we bought it, it'd been exposed to the elements, and the back of the touchpad was full of water. But it was a gift. I mean, I ain't going to tell you how much I give for it. But it was just covered in green canker, and it looked terrible. And this mix we think it's shifting them. We really do. We want to get them next week. We want to clip their backs, put them through race, clip their backs, tidy them up, because it is quite, especially how warm it is at the moment. You know, they don't want to be, they want to let the sweat through their backs. But this mix we're using, it's some real good quality silage, a tiny bit of straw, barley, and then some other bits and pieces, and it seems to be working. They're really putting some beef on. I'm just a bit worried about my Hereford efforts, getting them too fat though, but they're doing all right at the moment. Yeah, just a simple rig of what we've got kicking about at the farm, but the feeder wagon's really coming to its own. Right, I'll put this mower back together. We're putting this mower bed back together, but it's quite a very clever design. I think it's just unique to Lely. They've got like segments, so that segment here, this cutter blade, is just one piece, and then it's got a spacer, another segment, another drive segment, and it's driven by this shaft at the back, which broke, so I've sort of repaired that and put the weak end at the end, because it broke at the drive end, which has to drive everybody, do you know what I mean? So, but it's been a brilliant mower, really has, and it can shave it off right down to deck. And it's still quite a tidy thing, but we have toyed with the idea of trying to find, well, got talked about yesterday, which he got all excited about, buying a brand new one, which is the best mower on the market. We reckon Class, but, oh, what did you say?
McHale.
Or McHale, but apparently McHale's cracking the frame. So, we don't know. Got a shock of our life. We priced a Class mower, and Christ, it was £4 dearer than that. Oh, just for a trail mower.
Mounted.
A mounted mower, sorry. Yeah, there's a little space of what goes in, which we forgot at Yonem, so we had to take a few segments off and start. And this is the last, there's one more segment with the barrel to go on, and then the bed is to put on. Oh, just ground, ground.
What is it?
So, that there needs to put some pressure on it there. Ready, Will?
See that there? Full of pressure, isn't it? So
Does it want to be down the road?
put your finger on it. Push it down. Now to the left. Right. Nearly got it.
Will it tapping?
Pushing it again.
God, it's terrible light this morning. Oh, got some lights.
When the design, it's actually been twice as thick, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say so. Especially when you've got, like, Phil cuts with his 6480 or into a big tractor, but it's a big tractor for mowing grass on a 3 metre mower. So in a crop, when you get a good crop up here, it's putting some strain through everything, isn't it? You know, and tractor don't give back.
And that little bar there, sticking it on.
And this little hexagon bar drives all the segments, so if you're sending it on, there must be some massive strain on this, but it's only the first time it's blown up in, what, 3 years? Well, not blown up, it's snapped, and had to be repaired. Feels like a dream again, but I'm always wary when prattling about with mowers. Whether a blade bloody flees off or we left a tool on or something like that, so we always stand back a bit because them beds spin at an unbelievable amount of revolutions. Good news on the white chicken front, look. She's come back, so what happened to her under there? We'll never know. Whether there was a little bit of chicken lesbian lust going on, because there's only 3 hens now, or whether this little girl's had other one. We don't know. Mooching about, because she has a tendency to play with him a little bit, don't you? You're a queer little thing, aren't you? Got another one. That's number 8. And look at fleas and horrible little bugs on him. Horrible things, aren't they? How someone has that as a pet, I do not know. Yeah, I can't wait. Last job of the day, just having a hunt round to see if we've got any slug activity. And these wheats are coming fantastic. This wheat here, it's a variety called Cranium. We only grow 2 varieties, Cranium and Champion. And I think Cranium, if it doesn't shape well this year, it's maybe getting knocked on head, because the last year it didn't do so good at all. But it's looking fantastic. It really is. I mean, what you can see, there's spring oats coming, but we can take them out, no problem whatsoever. But yeah, just right thickness, and it was sown at quite a heavy seed rate, about 340 seeds. This is Champion on my left hand side, on my right hand side, sorry, and that's looking equally as good. Yeah, fantastic really. Established now, good enough, so if winter chucks a massive brunt of weather at it, it's got a fighting chance, because bloody hell, that KRM makes a lovely job. Really does. I favour it a hell of a lot more. That's KRM drilled, that's Vardestad drilled. There's not a lot in it for tidiness and probably results, but it just looks really, well, it looks really tidy, does the KRM. We've rented this bit of ground to a couple of lads for taties next year, and the company they're grown from wanted them to put a cover crop in for whatever reasons, I don't know, probably for their carbon footprint sort of type of job, I would say. But yeah, it consists of a couple of types of oil radishes, some vetch, and some black oats. I presume that's black oats. But there's a lot of volunteer stuff coming of previous crop, which was winter barley. But it's certainly encouraged the blackgrass to grow. God, look at it, it's everywhere. But it's not like we have put 50 acres, nearly 70 acre of cover crops in this time, but we've sort of put what we had knocking about really, based it on oil and based it on oats and rye, and then put some straights with it, different kinds of radishes, different kinds of vetches. But we just hope for the oats to produce a bit of top biomass and the rye to put a lot of root structure in, because it's just like a spider's web it puts down. It has a massive root structure, does rye, you know, like I mean, through winter it's sort of a sickly top but a massive root, and just to keep the soil healthy and a bit more open, as long as there isn't too much green matter on the top to hold moisture to delay drilling. But if I get an opportunity in February where, without making a mess, I will desiccate it off, so it's dead as a nit by the time I'm drilling it. Right, this is a field I've come to see. Bloody hell, I'm knackered. I'm a bit worried about, I haven't been down here for a week or 10 days. Just a bit concerned about slug damage. It's definitely a bit thin at the bottom. I think it's just coming through, to be fair. That's slug damage though. But there's a shoot there. There's millions of shoots coming through still. You know, it's all fresh growth coming through. But there is a bit of slug activity. But as the weather is though, it's ideal growing weather. I don't think there's nothing to worry about. I'll possibly come and put a few slug pellets on this small area, just as a bit of an insurance, but there's millions of fresh growth, so I've got nothing to worry about at all really. And clean. A lot of the residuals seems to have, there's not a lot of, well, there's not an ounce of black grass coming yet. Look, it's freshly coming through. Oh, all that growth. Oh, it's millions of it. Look, another one there. And no one next door to it. And there. Maize next door is about ready for having it. It could be a bit wet underfoot now though. I think they're going to make a mess pulling it out. This was, we drilled this, we knew we'd have issues with this field. So we drilled it a massive seed rate. Oh God, nearly on, probably around the 200 kilo, 400 plus seeds per square metre. You know, sort of do or die like. Because we knew it'd have a slug issue. It can be terribly wet in this bottom. It's got a grassweed issue, so we sort of wanted as dense canopy as possible, so we really went for it. But it's yet to show it all yet. Yeah, maize next door, it's ready. It's the worst. I think it will have the worst yield of maize this time, for one reason or another, than we've ever had. It just never performed really. This is our best crop. But in our maize is usually like tree trunks and as high as bloody chopper driver's cab. But this, I mean, we've got two fields at another farm what are shocking. We forgot to get the residual chemical on. Well, we neglected it a bit. We were busy doing other stuff, and I thought I'd go when I'd do this. Just put it anyway. By the time it was on a lot lighter land, and the rubbish had taken over, and it never recovered really. But you live and learn, don't you? But we always post them. I think we're going to pre-em next year. That's a field of cranium drilled fairly early. This was the field we had to knock up. Well, we mowed it and silaged it, and it was beautiful stuff. All crop silage is, I don't know whether it's an idea for the future if we get more cows, because Christ, it's good stuff. But no, look at this year, it looks fantastic. In fact, I think it's the best looking crop on the farm this time. I mean, we've got odd bits of water damage where it's got flooded out in bits of wet holes, and there's a couple of springs appeared in fields. But all in all, most of our corn nearly looks as good as that, and we've got quite a few acres in the ground. So how different a year can be. Bloody disastrous last year, and it looks promising from the start, but I know don't count your chickens and all that, but no, quite pleased. But our day can be so different. This morning absolutely pissing down, bloody horrible it was, and now it's beautiful. It's a right evening, so right Saturday night about 4 o'clock I think it's time for a beer. Right, on that note, from a rough hard farm in East Yorkshire, tick on subscribe or whatever you do, and bye for now. Fantastic.